Well, hello everyone, and welcome to Hogarth's Global Astrology. Know your nation, well, know your planets, know yourself, know your nation, know yourself. The two are interchangeable. And let's just see. Oh, I'm starting up a little bit late there. I was just going through your questions and kind of putting them in a sort of like a kind of a coherent order. And of course, you will see I am back from the Paris Olympics, back in the living room. You recognize the backdrop, of course. And you know what? It was fabulous. I'll just tell you briefly. And now, look, I'll confess something. I've never, up until now, I have never been the biggest fan of Paris. Yeah, and you're probably thinking, scandalous, Hoagie, scandalous. We here in America or Australia or, Canada or New Zealand or India or wherever you're watching from, probably be thinking, oh, it'd be wonderful to have Paris on the doorstep. But each time in the past that I went to Paris, for some reason, I didn't have a good time. Maybe it wasn't the right company, or there was always some kind of drama. The time of year obviously makes a big effect as well. Most of the time I was there in January or the earlier spring months where it wasn't so conducive. However, as you know, I was there. I went on the 31st of July, and I was there for early August, and it was gorgeous. It was fabulous. So now at last I'm like, all right, now I see what the big fuss is and the hoo-ha about Paris. So really enjoyed it, got a lot of culture as well, saw the tennis. As you probably would have heard me when I did my Hogeli from Paris, I saw, what is it, Iga Swiatek. She played a women's world #1. She got beaten by Zhang. Zhang, who went on to win the gold. And then I saw Alcaraz against Tommy Paul, the American tennis player. Excellent match. Alcaraz won, but then Djokovic defeated him in the final for his first ever gold. And I got to see the 400 meters, women's and men's, 400 meters hurdles as well, which was fabulous. So really got to see like the proper athletics. Eat obviously good food, probably drank a bit too much wine. But it was all good, Not very good for the blood sugar, as you can imagine, all that red wine. But back in London, it's all good. It's all good again. When you're away, these things happen. So it's so nice to be back though in my living room. And I've got your questions here, so we will dive in, of course, into the top content. Interesting questions. So just give you a little overview. We're going to be going, of course, international again. So we're going to have there's a question about Bangladesh, a new leader there. I understand that the dictator, female leader, has fled, just ahead of the protesters that took over her palace and all of that kind of stuff. Doesn't seem like she was the nicest person in the world. Then we've got a Russia-Ukraine question. Then we're going to be looking at Elon Musk, or some people calling him the melon, aren't they? Then we're going to be looking at Nostradamus, and his predictions for the Middle East. Then flipping over, we're going to be looking at Duck L'Orange and Republican funding. And then, if there is time, we're going to see, and hopefully, I'll make some time, we'll see what the cards say in regards to Walz. Is Tim Walz, isn't it, as vice presidential pick for Kamala Harris. Yeah, so let's quickly see who is in the show, and then I'm going to dive in. So someone's saying here, so good to see you, Hogarth. So sorry for the sadness in the UK right now. Sending lots of love to Britain. Yeah, it's been crazy. But guys, as you would now, look, I missed most of this because I was in Paris while all of this was all blowing up. And oh god, let me just change the temperature setting on that. There we are. That's better. Otherwise it's a bit too, if it's too blue, it's not good for trying to get to sleep at night. Anyway, as you know, there's been a lot of riots here in the UK, and of course Elon Musk has been sticking his boot in, trying to say that Britain's on the on the verge of civil war. I really wouldn't go that far, Elon. And obviously, anyway, as you know, I have mixed feelings about this guy. There's a lot of douchebaggery that comes out of him. But things seem to have settled down for now. But I've not seen the news today. I've been too busy. I've been with clients all day, and then of course I do my this show in the evening. So I will have to catch up. But yeah, thanks for those concerns. Let's just see how it goes. But you remember how I've been saying ad nauseum? I said Pluto is in sidereal Capricorn. And do you remember I said that is an energy of fascism? It can deal a lot with the energy of the far right fascism or even the extreme left. Either way, it's extremes, but it tends to be going more in that kind of fascistic direction, unfortunately. And this is why we're seeing so much of this energy about. But of course, remember as well, Pluto is also about alchemy, transformation. So while there's the icky stuff going on, there's also potentially the good stuff going on as well. So let's see who's in the house, and then we will start the show. What's this? Oh, look! Earthquake in Japan today. I'm under severe tornado warning here in North Carolina, USA. Lots going on everywhere. Now, that is very interesting because, well, I'll just say her name. She's very staunch. She's kind of very staunch Republican, but strip that out. Yeah, the important part is the information, and she deserves credit for this. Joni Petrie has been saying for some time now that she's expecting an earthquake to hit Japan, and she said it would happen around about this time. But not just that. Of course, you also heard me say the same as well. I said when Uranus is in sidereal Taurus, Taurus is an earth sign. Uranus is sudden shocks and surprises. It can literally mean earth shaking, earth shakes. I'm planning to go to Japan in October, be there for my birthday. So let's see what's happened by then. You know, hopefully everything is okay. I hope it wasn't too big as an earthquake. And then tornado warning here in North Carolina. Lots going on everywhere. Yeah, that's gosh, that's what Denise says. Bloody hell, yeah. Topsy-turvy times, folks. Topsy-turvy times. There's a tremendous amount going on. Let me just, here we are. That's a bit better. Brenda C is saying Elon is a twit. He's just and then someone's saying here, Linda saying cat, dog, and chicken lover as pets here in Texas. Lonely blue dot. Oh, bless you. Bless you. Well, you're here now, look, and the sky is blue behind me. So let that give you a little bit of hope. Hopefully that's a good omen. All right, let's look at the first question so that I can get through all the content of the show. So let's see here. So where we're going first, we're going to Bangladesh first. So here we are, really simple question in from Nick Minks. Thank you so much for your question. Bangladesh has a new leader. How does the astrology or the cards show how this will progress? So I've not had time to do, I'm going to use my Parisian, where is it? I'm going to use my Parisian deck. Let's use my Parisian deck for this. It's the Rider-Waite Smith, but you know, the things are in French, and I'm still feeling, you know, decompressing from all of that wonderful energy of Paris. And the light over there is fabulous. My God, and the energy. I just look like I've been photoshopped when I was out there. It's so flattering. The light is very flattering over there. All right, not so much here in the UK, a bit more grey and dingy today. Anyways. Right, Bangladesh, new leader. What do the cards show? How things will progress? Let's have a little look. Bangladesh. How will things proceed and progress in that country? How will things proceed and progress in that country? Let's have a look. Oh, well, okay. So if we see here, they get the major arcana. So of course this means what? Major beginnings, major endings, endings and beginnings. So this is showing a grand cycle. An old cycle has come to an end and a new one's starting. So I think obviously that has to do with the leader that had to flee. I don't know what her name is, but I think she had to flee the country. So, of course, there is a new leader in place. So something old has ended, something new has begun. Yeah. And it seems that it's made international news and stuff like that. So it's something the world that's reached the attention of the world, quite literally. If we look here in the obstacle position, I think part of maybe what these protests were about, and one of the main reasons why she had to go, probably had to do with some things along the line of corruption and poverty. The people themselves were probably feeling very impoverished. I know we're dealing with all sorts of leaders that are dodgy around the world. Not all of them are bad, but this is a big theme. Yeah, and this is also part of what a lot of what these riots and stuff are about underneath it. In the UK, of course, it's been manifesting as race riots and stuff like that, and then people just burning down their own towns and all that kind of stuff, which is completely counterproductive. Really, what a lot of this is about, it's actually about unfettered capitalism is often the groundwater of people's poverty. People at the top just taking up just too much. Yeah, people feel poor and all of that kind of stuff, and then they blame immigrants or anyone who's poorer than them or just whatever. But this is really what's at the cause of it, and this seems to be a big issue as well in Bangladesh. The people aren't feeling secure. If we see here, we got the tower. Yeah. There we are, a shocking moment. Here you see the crown is being knocked off. The previous leader is gone. Yeah, from what I heard, she's fled. And there's obviously a new leader in place. I have no idea who that new leader is, but I heard that the leader had to flee. So look, you can see the crown is being knocked off. And this is what the tower can talk about. It's not just catastrophe, just all out. It can be just like, a leader is deposed. Someone that was on a shaky foundation gets the lightning strike and a bolt of reality. Yeah, the people are falling out because they've not been paying attention. You know, there is that sense of ego as well, and this is the Uranian energy coming in and just blowing it up. Yeah, so she had to flee, from what I understand at this stage of the story. Correct me if I'm wrong. If we look here, we then get the Page of Wands. Now, this is really interesting because the pages are all about messaging, but this is about students. Yeah, the Page of Wands is very closely associated with students and the orator. And it was a student movement, allegedly, that is what has kind of essentially helped depose that leader. So look, you can see that right there. And then the outcome card is very positive. So now we're talking about new beginnings, fresh starts. You'll see here with the wand that it is growing. So Ace of Wands, A, is a very positive yes card, and it talks about new opportunities, new projects, new ways forward. So it seems, I'd like to think that Bangladesh is actually going to recover from this situation, and hopefully they'll get something much better instead. All right, so let's cross that one off. Here we are. All right, so let's take a look. Let's see who else is in the house. Let me just scroll down. And then Angela says, you know, when you go away, it's been cray cray. Yeah, it seems whenever I go, everything just absolutely blowing up. Oh, what's this here? Casey says, highly recommend getting an archetypal reading from Hogarth. It's very accurate, and everything he saw, even the bad stuff, has happened. Oh, well, thank you. Thank you. Well, you know, I look at everything's in the chart, guys. Everything is in the charts and the archetypes. It's just, I'm just astonished what I can see now. I shouldn't be surprised, but as time goes by, I can just see more and more and more in people's charts. Karen says, hello, Hogarth. Happy to see you here during my birthday month. Happy birthday to you in advance. Foggy saying hello, and to the Tarot family. And some people saying, so happy to see you today, Olga. Thank you. And of course, please don't forget as well to like and subscribe to the channel. If you like the content, it really does help it grow and reach more people. And of course, your comments and all of that stuff really helps. So I just want to say a big thank you to everyone who's been supporting my channel. Some of you for years, literally, some of you for years. And it's just much appreciated. And I'm so glad I decided to take this big risk, this big leap of faith over the lockdowns, you know, and it's just become something really incredible. And you guys are a massive part of that. So big love. Thank you so much. All right, let's go on to question 2. I can find it. Here we are. Oh, here we are. Now, this one's coming from Denise Ferguson. Thank you so much for your question, Denise. So it says here, Ukraine conducted a ground operation inside of Russia in the Kursk region. And I understand, Denise, that this was a repeat question for you because the first one vanished for some reason. Then it came back later. Anyway, Russia has claimed to halt the Ukrainian incursion, but this has not been confirmed. How will this affect how Russians feel about Putin's leadership, since the war has now expanded into Russian territory? That is a very good question. I feel like for this one, I'm going to move over to my usual deck. I don't know, I feel prompted to go with my my new favorite deck, which of course is the Art Deco one. Art Nouveau, not Art Deco, Art Nouveau. All right. How do Russians feel about this? How do they feel about Putinshka? Yeah, now that the war is happening on their soil. How do Russians feel about Putinshka? How do Russians feel about Putinshka? Oh, very interesting. Okay. If we look here, we have the Hierophant, so which of course is a major arcana card. So what this says to me is it could be that there is still, I mean, for the Russians that are left in the country, remember a lot of Russian men in particular left. Yeah, they went. But what this suggests is that his dogma at home, yeah, let's not forget, Putin has complete control over the media, you know, in Russia. Any of those independent outlets that were there, they had to leave quite early on. Do you remember? They had to go and, you know, so what this is showing that it still looks like he's quite the supreme authority at home in Russia. He's still working all the levers of power. And this would also suggest as well, quite literally, that he still has a lot of support from the Orthodox Church. Yeah, as long as he doesn't blow up any more churches, I think they're just going to stick with him. In the obstacle position, though, we have the King of Pentacles. So here, this could talk about Putinshka himself. He is one of the richest men in the world, by the way, with that Forbes richest list and stuff like that. Trust me, Putin is one of the richest men in the world. He's a multi-trillionaire. You can't be in control of a country of like how many time zones and natural resources and not be in the multiple trillions. Anyway, but this can also talk about his oligarchy and those that are paid up, those that are on the payroll, the rich benefactors that have benefited from Putin, but it's showing up in the obstacle position. So there could be more nervousness and twitchiness actually with the oligarchy who may not be quite as happy with his performance. If we look here, let me just cover the naughty bits. We have the Lovers. So remember, the Lovers is talking about partnerships of all kinds. But as you know, particularly when I'm reading these political readings, I associate this card with imports, exports, the economy, goods and services. So obviously there's probably some issues here. The oligarchs are probably not feeling so great about the Russian economy right now. And apparently he's been massaging the figures and all of this kind of stuff. So either way, there is within the country there is concern, but how openly they can express that concern, obviously without falling out a window or, you know, having a bit of novichok, you know, rubbed in their underpants or something, obviously is a bit more tricky. If we look here, though, we have the Fool card here. Now, this can't really, sometimes obviously it can represent a leap of faith, but this isn't really a leap of faith anymore, really, is it? Because this war has been dragging on for a while now. And this is actually talking, like I said, talking about the economy. So this could literally mean about foolhardiness, naivety, and even a reckless gamble when it comes to the economy. Yeah, because we know that, I mean, look, don't get me wrong, Russia's still getting billions, by the way, for the oil and that stuff. There are a lot of that money is still finding its way there roundabout. I think Channel 4 News in the UK actually did a special on that, basically talking about how much money Russia is still getting for its oil. They're just changing the names of companies and stuff like that, but still in the general economy, it shows that there might be some issues there. And which could, of course, affect people's opinion, because this is, how do people feel about Putin? So if we look here, we've got the Queen of Swords, which is about astuteness, accuracy, sharpness, sharp legal mind. So it's really interesting. So basically, he has the support at home, particularly those that are religious in Russia are behind Putin, and of course the church itself. The oligarchy aren't sure. They're in opposition, especially because they're not sure about the economy. And this is also as well talking about Russians, how ordinary Russians feel about the economy as well. Some feel that the whole exercise has been a reckless farce. Yeah. That probably should never have happened, but yet the outcome card is a sharpness and astuteness. So what this says to me is that I think the Russians are actually watching very closely, really see how things are doing. And even if they cannot explicitly criticize, you know, Putin overtly, because we know what happens, people get locked up and disappeared. This suggests to me at the kitchen table, there's probably a sharpness there. There's a sharp tongue, a sharpness, and even critique of Putin at home. So, yeah, if the war continues to progress into Russia, then it's really not looking that good, you know, but we'll have to see what the tipping point is. But thanks for the question. All right, let's see who's in. And then the next one we're going to look at is Elon Musk. Let's just see who else is here. Let's see here. Hopefully get to use your magic reads. Sorry, forgot the name. Oh, I can't remember, Mona. Well, maybe you mean my cards in some way. Lots of burst from. What's this? Hi there. How you been? Doing fine. I hope you love with. Oh, right. Okay. So that's a bit of an exchange within the chat. Oh, Julie's here. Hello, Linda. How do you do with the hurricane following the storm? I'm in Texas. Yeah, Julie. Oh God, she's had a nightmare because there was the big storm, which brought a lot of flooding, and then there was heavy rain, which brought more flooding. So yeah, the south of Texas is really having a difficult time. Hello, Teresa. I was chatting with Teresa the other day. Who else is here? Patricia. Oh, I'll be. Let's see. We'll be doing our next group chat, you know, quite soon. I think we've got a new organizer for in terms of helping with the trip, of course, the retreat in Santa Fe, of course, and Patricia is part of that. And here we are. Blessings, Hogas, and everyone from Fatima. Thank you so much. Oh, this is interesting. Brenda C says MSM. Do you mean MSNBC? Disseminating false news about poor people and migrants, unless MSM is a channel that I'm not aware of. Sorry if it is, you know. Oh, someone's saying, oh, Marvel Johnson saying happy 888 portal day, because of course today is the 8th of August. Oh yes, and then Angela's saying, please ask Hogarth for the bard. Yeah, actually, let's do the bard on let's do the bard on Elon. Yeah, let's do the bard on Elon. Let's see. We've done him before. I mean, Putin, we kind of know his thoughts. Mind you, I've not done Putin for a while. Actually, let's see what the bard thinks of Putin and Elon. Here we are, because I've not done the bard for a while. Let's just see. Let's see, because we've just read on Putin. Let's see what the bard thinks. All right, what do you think of Putinshka? So over here, let's have a look. Oh, look at this. This is really interesting. So this is from Henry V. It said, this is Shakespeare's take on Putin. Thou art sick in the world's regard, wretched and low, a poor, unminded outlaw sneaking home. How interesting, because we've been talking about the war in Ukraine. How interesting. This is showing that he's probably trying to find a way out, guys. Yeah. And then the next one is from King Lear. It says, from the extremest upward of thy head to the descent and dust beneath thy foot, a most toad spotter traitor. Ooh, yeah. So as you can see here, the bard had quite a few things to say, but I think that one, the first one, thou art sick in the world's regard, yeah, because we're all looking at the obviously Ukraine. Wretched and low, a poor, unminded outlaw sneaking home. So what that suggests is as well is that he might be trying to find ways out, guys. Yeah, Putinshka might be trying to find ways out of the war. It's costing obviously an absolute fortune. Let's have a look at old Muskie. All right, so this comes in from Fizzlers. Hi, Hogarth. Elon Musk and the X-bots have been inciting awful violence and unrest in the UK and Ireland. Will the UK and Europe take serious action against X? And if so, what would be the outcome? Love you and your channel. Great question. Yes, God, Elon. And I look, there are some people that are still fans of him, and that's their choice. I've never been the biggest fan. I think he's an extremely capricious man. He's intelligent, but he's not a genius. I think he certainly has a few geniuses working for him. He is at the cutting edge of scientific progress on many levels, whether we like him or not. He's got all of his stuff going up in the air, all of his satellites, giving, spreading internet to very far and obscure places. So, we can be grateful for that. But he is immensely capricious, and not so nice to his family. Irrespective of what people say, there's lots of stuff coming out about him and his family, and how he treats his children and stuff like that. And some of them want nothing to do with him. But anyway, let's just see. What will be the outcome for X vis-a-vis Europe? Will there be regulations, etc.? What's the energy around X, especially in light of his recent comments? Let's have a little look. And then we'll see what the bard has to say about old Elon. Bloody hell. Gosh. Oh my goodness. Wow. This is very interesting. Okay, I've just pulled 5 cards and 4 of them are major arcana. So this is very significant. Yeah, this question. There could be a fundamental change here going on in Elon's life. Straight away here, if we look, he gets the moon card. So what is the moon card all about? Nothing is clear by moonlight. This can also be a card of subterfuge. clandestine behavior, or just straight up and down. It can also deal with mental illness or disturbances of the mind. In Vedic astrology, the moon literally does represent the mind and the emotions. And if we look here, we see we've got the wolf onto one side and the domesticated dog. And the challenge of this card is to walk safely between the two pillars of truth. So this talks about the bestial side and the domesticated side of mankind and the struggle for balance that we all have in terms of controlling our urges or our worse or baser instincts, which are also being represented by this lobster here crawling out of the water, almost as if to crawl out of our deep subconscious. So this is also really representing the reptilian mind. So how interesting that Elon should get this card first. So what this shows is that there's an entanglement, an intoxication, as it were, in terms of his mind and his emotions, and that there's a volatility there as well to Elon. This isn't a card that's famed for its stability. In the positive, it can deal with intuition, spirituality, and stuff like that. But how much of that Elon is doing, I doubt very much. I think this is actually more of the former. If we look here, though, what's his obstacle position? Now, the Strength card is normally a positive card. But as you know, when I'm reading the card, if the obstacle position is a positive card, but the first card is negative, then I still read it as an obstacle. So really, we can see this as reversed. If they're both positive, then it's not reversed. So when the card is the right way up, this talks about self-restraint, self-restraint, discipline, soft power. Yeah, here you can see physically this lion would be able to eat this, maiden, but she's able to control that lion with her virtue and strength of character alone. However, when it's reversed, this can talk about the opposite of that. This can talk about a bestial character, someone that is not in control of their thoughts and feelings and emotions, or some of their deeper urges and instincts, which further backs up the first card. So this shows that really Elon is very much struggling with his self-control. He's cooking up agendas and all sorts of clandestine different stuff. And it's a lot of it is to do with his emotions, even though he seems like someone that is completely in his head and in his intellect and stuff like that. This is showing his basic instincts seem to have the upper hand. However, look at the next card. It's death. Now, death, as you know, when it shows up, doesn't always literally mean physical death and stuff like that. Something weird just popped up there. Let's just close that down. It doesn't always mean a physical death, but it certainly almost always means transformation. So it looks like here there is a big transformation up ahead for Elon. How that will manifest remains to be seen, but there are clues in the card. If we look here, we have the papal man here putting up his hands, trying to basically plead for the life of the king who has been deposed. Do you see? So here's the crown here on the floor. Here is his wife, and the child is crying out, but you can see here, but the death is implacable. In this card, you see the other side of the two pillars, which you remember, which we saw here in the moon card. And I often find it interesting when these two cards show up in the same reading, because it's meaning someone is having to take some kind of path, walk some kind of path of transformation, whether they want to or not. The death card is the transformation that comes whether we want it to happen or not. It's the transformation that happens just, circumstances. So there could be circumstances. There could be a transformative situation that could change, He might have to change his outlook. When we look here, this is also in regards to what? His collaborations with others. It's the Three of Pentacles here. Now, threes I associate, of course, with the sign of Gemini, media. 3 is a very dynamic number, and it's always been a number of communication and exchange, collaboration. So this could be talking about X. One person was actually asking, who was it? It was, let me think here. Denise Ferguson was asking, is In fact, let's wrap this in as well, because so she said Elon Musk and X are involved in numerous lawsuits, investigations. This includes an ongoing investigation by the European Union and an investigation by the Michigan Attorney General accusing Musk of illegally obtaining voter information in swing states. With all the chaos and accusations, will Musk sell X after the elections? So I want to put that question into context as well. So if we look at the ones so far, yeah, clandestine behavior, bestial instincts being indulged. However, a big transformation is on the way in regards to what? Something to do with collaboration and communication. So this could be talking about X. And look at the outcome card, the devil. So this card talks about codependency. This card also talks about vices. It talks about drugs. It talks about, again, addictive behavior or patterns, or someone who is struggling with addiction in some kind of way. So it seems to me that here that Musk is struggling with almost his addiction maybe to the power of the platform, but this is also showing the toxicity potentially of the platform itself. And maybe it's because of the stuff that's being spewed out on text, on X, which of course is affecting things globally. Maybe this is what he gets pulled up about. So when we put that all in, it looks like there's actually quite a bit of transformation on the way from Elon. But there's things here to do with compulsions, addictions, and just unsavory behavior, yeah, or desires. So when we top and tail it, we see here moon and devil. You get the moon and the devil in the same reason, you know, reading, you're a bit loopy-loo, yeah. He's a bit crackers. Let's just see what the bard has to say about Elon. Oh, that one's come out before. Oh, this is really interesting. So this is from a comedy of errors. And this is what the bard has to say about Elon. A fortune teller, a needy, hollow-eyed, sharp-looking wretch, a living dead man. And that's from the comedy of errors. Wow. Yeah. My gosh, the bard didn't hold back on that. But when you think of his cards, the cards that he got, you see how that's synchronistic with the energies. There is an element within Musk where he is no longer in control. He's no longer in control of himself. His bestial instincts are coming forward. And there is discombobulation in the body, in the mind, you know, because remember the moon is there, but then the outcome card was the devil, showing again vices, addiction. He may even be struggling with some kind of, again, for entertainment purposes only. Well, I didn't, first time I'm saying it, but this could suggest even substance abuse or some kind of addictive behavior, something unhealthy, certainly there, some unhealthy preoccupation, fascination. This could also be as well that Pluto energy, the fascistic whiffs that he's obviously given off and enabled on his platform. It also shows as well he may be a bit of a ne'er-do-well and a little bit of stirring the a bit of an SHIT stirrer. Yeah. So, you know, his intentions aren't that good. I know there are people that are fans of Elon, but I've never been a fan, really. He's sketchy guy. All right, let's go to question number 4, because I want to make sure I get everything in. And thank you for everyone who has been joining me. It's got 642 of you now, which is fabulous. It's great for this show. Thank you so much, everyone. Really appreciated. And of course, please don't forget to like and subscribe and press the bell notification and all of that stuff. All right, so let's go. That was Elon. So we're going question 4 now. Now this is coming from Manuela Orchid. Oh, here we got a bit of Nostradamus. Oh, what's going on here? Oh, thank you, Marvel Johnson, for becoming a new YouTube. Yeah, became a member. Thank you so much. Much appreciated. Actually, I'm going to be posting actually quite a lot of new member content as well, guys. So more stuff on the archetypes and just, you know, a bit more content in general, particularly as I'll be away in Santa Fe quite soon as well. Anyway, right. So going back, where was I? Question number 4. So Manuela Orchid says, hi, Hoagie. I hope you arrived home well from Paris. Yes, I did. Thank you so much. I have a question for the cards, which would be, Nostradamus once said, the Third World War starts because of conflict in the Middle East, and we all know what's just going on. Will this come true? She says. And then she went on to say some of the things didn't come true and some people mistranslated, etc. And she says, much love, Manuela. So let's just see. Now, look, this is my opinion on World War III. This is my bona fide opinion on World War III. Yeah, it's already here. It's already happening. Yeah, it's already unfolding. As far as I'm concerned, we're already in World War III. But this is a different war now. This is non-linear. We're in the era of non-linear warfare. A lot of this war has to do with hearts and minds. And for me, World War III began when Duc L'Orange got put in the White House, because that really is one of the biggest coups of political espionage and interfering that have probably ever happened in American politics before. Yeah, because we know the connections between Duc L'Orange and, you know, Putinshka, etc. and stuff like that. So for me, that is really when it began. If we look, a lot of the world is in conflict. Because, you know, one does not necessarily have to be at a physical war with bombs dropping on you to actually be at war. Look at the wars that are going on in social media, the wars over ideas, the wars over dark versus light, good versus bad, you know, and all of the stuff that's in between. There are many multiple wars going on. There are information wars, wars around truth. There are financial wars going on. So for me, it's already here. And we just see the peaks and troughs of how things develop. I hope they don't escalate, of course. But anyway, Nostradamus, World War III. Let's have a little look. Let's see. And let's not forget as well, there are timelines and free will, which always modulates everything. We may, ironically, we may have even been able to avoid some of the worst stuff, believe it or not. Because remember what Nostradamus said was, he said, this stuff can be avoided depending on the choices humanity makes. So let's just see, what's the question again? World War III. Okay, right. If we look here, someone's making a lot of money out of this. And this is one of the things that people always have to remember. War is very profitable for some people. Yeah, especially certain elites. So you can see here, there's big financial incentives. And this goes for all wars, by the way, because someone sells the weapons, someone buys the weapons. Yeah. You can't bomb a country with paper plates, yeah, and plastic cups. Yeah, someone has to sell that stuff. So always look, irrespective of what the rhetoric is, yeah, irrespective of what the politicians say, always follow the money when it comes to war. The money doesn't lie. Yeah. We look here. In the obstacle position, we have the 9 of Wands, which of course is the guy who's literally embattled from war. So this can deal with war, conflict, trying to get the upper hand, but being very determined. Yeah, this is also a card of shrewdness and cunning. So in a way, almost as this is almost like humanity, you know, trying to fight its way through. And, you know, I think this is how a lot of people are feeling, particularly with the cost of living and stuff like that. I think people are feeling embattled. that life is a battle that they just have to try and get through for now. However, in the middle card, we do see the card of, in the middle, we see the card of walking away, abandoning things. Now, if we remember my reading that I did just before for Putinshka, do you remember I said he's trying to find a way out? Yeah, he's trying to find a way out of Ukraine with, of course, you know, saving face. So I'm not saying that it's going to end tomorrow, but I think Putin is more willing to let the Ukraine war leave it behind, more so than people may realize. With the Middle East, it remains to be seen, because of course we've got Netanyahu. Yeah, the less that's said, the less I say about him, the better, to be honest. I've done the archetypal reading on him. For those that want to know a bit more about Netanyahu, watch that video. It's in my archetypes playlist. Just absolute eye-opener. Yeah. Anyway, so at least one of the wars someone wants to walk away from, and I think that is Putin. If we look there, here, though, look, there could be a few more surprises in the pipeline. After all, Uranus, planet of sudden shocks and surprises, is in Taurus. Yeah. Now, Taurus deals with the ground, deals with, you know, things like earthquakes and stuff. Uranus deals with earthquakes, and so can Neptune via tsunamis. Yeah, because he's god of the sea. So there's going to be a few more shocks and surprises, unexpected events. So yes, maybe things may escalate a little bit in the Middle East, but we could also have some leaders be deposed as well. So could this affect Netanyahu? We know there are a lot of people that want him gone. Yeah, so there could be still some surprises to come in the Middle East. And then the outcome card is the Page of Wands. So here, this is really interesting. The students have a lot to say. I think, you know, obviously students are representing the immediate, you know, future in terms of voting power and stuff like that. So the youth are probably the ones that are going to have the biggest influence over future wars, because you know what I see happening in the future? You just might have the students will probably just be like, not going to do it, not going to fight. Remember as well, a lot of students don't want to be conscripted in Russia, so they're fighting that as well. So I'm not saying war is going to die out completely, but it's certainly going to go out of fashion the more that the younger people have influence, because they see in their own lives the devastating impact it makes and around the world. So thanks for that question. So will there be World War III? Well, I think we're already here. Yeah, that's my answer to that. I think in terms of how things end, it's to do more with the younger generations, yeah, and their attitudes towards war. And let's see who else is here in the house. Let's see here. Robinson jails for release. Someone's saying, I want Robinson jailed for at least 100 years. And Angelok is saying, Putin will be bumped off soon. We'll have to see. And what's this? And then what about the 10 million that, oh yeah, Al-Sisi gave Trump? Barr covered it up. Yes, Al-Sisi. I'll see if I can, I think some of the readers have covered that, but yeah, I mean, look, such is the absurdity of politics now that this stuff could come out and Donald Trump can still be standing on a stage. He should be just dragged off. I mean, he's utterly illegitimate. And why this is, you know, he's being entertained, the way that, I'm having a rant here, but for me, the way that Duck Larange has been entertained, how his legitimacy has been propagated and facilitated by elements of the media, he should just be called for what he is. He's fraudulent. He's not Hitler, and I don't think that's appropriate either. I don't think it is, because I think it cheapens when these words are thrown around. It actually cheapens a lot of the horrors that Hitler did. But he's a charlatan. He's a con man. He's a fraud. He is those things. Like I said, his gift is grift. And so much of this is to do with the media narrative entertaining him as some kind of realistic candidate. This is why, but in a way, you know, everything happens for a reason, because when we look at, you know, Kamala Harris and Walz ticket and stuff like that, you can see the adults in the room, and it's deeply unflattering to Trump. So, you know, everything has to come out in the wash. But he's been entertained for far too long, far too long. He's had way too much coverage, way too much media, because they like the hoopla, hootenanny, and frankly, the clicks. Yeah, that's really what he's clickbait extraordinaire. Anyway, let's go to question number 5. So which is a duck l'orange question here. And let's just see who else is in. What's this here? Trump smells Putin must the highest and final stage of bandit capitalism and the coup de grace to the head of the Russian nation. Gary Kasparov. So let's see here. Thanks for that quote there. And that was from Chuck. Bard for Elon, yeah, which I've done. I need to scroll down obviously a bit more. And then Salome saying, we've decided he's beyond the pale, and yeah, Hogarth, he's going to withdraw. Oh, I see what you mean in regards to Trump. Well, let's see. And let's see. There we are. What else is this? The robots taking over. What's it called? Chuck is saying, I don't think the robots are taking over. I think the men who play with toys have taken over. And if we don't take the toys out of their hands, that we're fools. Yeah, Ray Bradbury. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And then someone saying, Bard is perfect, JC. Yeah, just bang on as always. All right. So Denise Ferguson asks, FEC filings show that Republicans have $327 million on hand. No local Republican offices have been opened with minimum campaign ad purchases at this point. Why is Trump holding on to this money instead of helping down ballot Republicans? Because he's greedy. That's why. It's to pay his bills. Yeah, that's why. It's all about him. He's just got his hand in the money pot. That's really what it is. But let's have a read. Let's have a read. And I think Nick Mink says, yeah, Orange Felon's legal fund scheme. Money just for him. Yeah, there you are. Money just for him, because she commented on the question. So, no, that's why. Look, it's all about Duck l'Orange. And you've got to remember as well, Duck l'Orange needs to make sure he keeps his bribe and escape fund. Remember what I said? You know, as you know, I have been beating this drum for years now. And I've always said, I said, when the, you know what, when the doo-doo really hits the fan and it's really looking bad, I really do believe that Trump will exit stage left. I mean, we have to see what Venus will bring. So again, let me just talk a little bit about Trump's chart. He has, like J.D. Vance, he's got Venus in the 12th house. The 12th house can deal with endings, but for Trump, it's even more difficult because it's sandwiched between two malefics. It's sandwiched between Saturn and Pluto. Saturn is what? Karma, debts, responsibilities, restrictions of all kinds. Pluto is what? Corruption, the underbelly of things. It also deals with transformation. It's in the 12th house, which can mean losses. Venus is women. This can mean losses via women. Yeah, or maybe Kamala Harris. Now, isn't it interesting? The VP has his Venus in the 12th as well. Not quite as malefic. It doesn't not flanked by malefics, but it can also mean not being helped by the wife, or the wife is not an asset that boosts one's election campaign. It can also mean that the wife is foreign. Yeah, 12th house deals with foreign lands, and we know that all bar one of Trump's wives, they were foreign ladies. Yeah, if we look with J.D. Vance, his wife, okay, she was born in America, but her parents are from India, so she has that kind of foreign blood as well. And also as well, this can also speak about Kamala, because of course her dad is Jamaican, an American, and her mother's Indian. So again, she is also as well in a way from the land of far, far away. So both men could lose or have losses from women. Their wives aren't assets, and they could be dealing with a woman that could cause them a lot of losses. Looking very much like Kamala now, isn't it? And I thought way back in the day, years ago, I thought it might be Liz Cheney. I said a woman, it would be a woman that would bring Trump down. But could it be Kamala? Could it be Kamala? Anyway, so Trump's taking the... Look at the card that fell out. What did I say? Look, it's just about the money. Look at that. It's just about the money. Yeah, findings show Republicans have 327 million on hand. No Republican offices have been opened with minimum campaign ad purchases as well at this point. Why is Trump holding on to this money instead of helping down ballot Republicans? There you go, because he wants it all for himself. He's also going to need to bribe people and countries to let him in if he does a runner. He's also going to have to bribe, of course, certain members of the Secret Service as well, who aren't that competent anyway. You know, look like they need a little bit more training, don't they? So let's see what else the cards say. Oh, he's such a grifter, man. He's just such a grifter. But I'm glad slowly but surely, you know, more and more Americans are just beginning just to see him for what it is. All right, let's just see. What else is Duck Larange doing with the GOP funds? So think about it. He knows if Kamala wins, he's toast. Yeah, because she is literally a prosecutor. So for him, that would be president and prosecutor rolled into one. Disaster. He needs the money, because if he's going to flee somewhere, say like to Ecuador or whatever, he's going to have to, get the money out. He's also going to have to bribe and pay Secret Service. He will have this as a contingency, I guarantee you. Oh, look at this. Oh, it's a betrayal. It's a stab in the back. Of course, this for me is like the GOP after the election if they lose. Yeah, I mean, they don't seem to have worked it out already, bless them. You know, that it is a massive betrayal. Trump does not care about the GOP. He cares about the money. Yeah, it's a betrayal. Can't be trusted. There are more secrets. Yeah, more secrets here. We've got the Queen of Cups. So obviously, he's obviously got a few more documents up his sleeve to sell, should he need to sell out America to escape somewhere. And here we see here with Duck Larange, look, canny, yeah, war battled, very, very cunning. Like I said, never underestimate Duck Larange. That's how we got in the first time. People are actually starting to pay attention now and go, you know what? We kind of need to take this guy more at his word. Like I said, in his constant lying, he is always telling the truth. Yeah, he's telling the truth about his intentions, and he's also telling the truth about those that still support Duck Larange even now. So anyway, so here we go. That's him there embattled. And then look, Wheel of Fortune. He gets us the outcome card. So look, he is paying up. He's keeping that. I think it's his escape money. I think it's his escape money, because let's be realistic. If Kamala wins, first of all, he's not going to be able to face that humiliation for him. You know, to lose, his ego is not going to be able to face that. You know, to lose to a woman of color. Yeah, particularly with his background. Yeah. Remember, his dad was in the Klan. Yeah, you got to remember. Oh, I shouldn't be even laughing about it, but it's true. So that would be his worst nightmare. Do you really see Duck Larange sticking around if Kamala wins? Or it looks like very likely that she would win. You think Duck Larange is going to stay around for that? That is virtually guaranteed prison, nailed on. Imagine president as also prosecutor in chief. His chances of escaping jail will become nil. She could then use every tool of the state against him, and remember as well, the Supreme Court with their douchebaggery have also elevated the state of president to that of king. So if she wins, she will literally be what? Queen of America. Done. Yeah, done. So let's see about that. Now let's see if I can quickly squeeze in one more. Thanks so much for that question. And then it says, hi, Nick Minks. Hi, Hoagie. What do the cards say in regards to the Tim Walz as VP pick? All right, let's take a look at that. Oh, Duck L'Orange. And remember, in September, 29th of September, his dasher changes. But you remember I said from August, we will start to notice, we'll begin to see if that Venus is going to bring him losses or not. I said it could be the get out of jail card free, but I think that's already happened with Judge Cannon. It's looking like that now. If we look at how Kamala is surging. On the 29th of September, Venus will start driving the car. But I said it would start from August, didn't I? Look all the stuff that's happened. So we'll have to see what Venus brings. Some Vedic astrologers are saying that Venus will bring Trump triumph, but I'm not so sure. Kamala has a lot of destiny, and for me, destiny is stronger than luck. Trump is very lucky, though, so remains to be seen. Anyway, Walz, VP, seems to be doing very well so far, and he's such a natural communicator, thank goodness. Ooh, what's happened here? Some of the cards flipped around. Shouldn't have been that way. Let me just give it one last shuffle, and then I'll end the reading. Ooh. All right, Kamala Walz. How's Walz? What's he bringing to the ticket? He certainly has a lot of energy. He's certainly very jolly. And he's very much in his divine masculine. Yeah, in his divine masculine. And that is when a man is in his divine masculine, he's often jolly, magnanimous, generous, kind, loving, protecting, intelligent, all of these things. Yeah, and he seems to have that. Seems to be a genuine good guy. Well, isn't this interesting? How interesting. All right, this is how I think this is going. Straight away, he's on the attack. Yeah, he is not afraid to go into battle. And isn't this what we've been wanting the Democrats to be doing for ages? Haven't we all been lamenting at some stage or other, particularly Lena and I, saying, when will they just go on the attack? He is here to go on the attack. He and Kamala are literally going to take it to the Republicans. No wonder Duck L'Orange is scared. If we look here in the obstacle position, we have the 5 of Swords, which can also be talking about what? Abuses of power. So I think in terms of the attack, because this is what we've seen so far on the trail, they are attacking Trump and the GOP's abuses of power. They're also been attacking what? The moral character. The weird stuff. Remember, they've been saying that they're weird. Well, they are weird. They are weird and strange, and all of this stuff. So again, they're talking at it's like the way I interpret that is like Walz is doing that attack on those elements there of the Republicans, because he's obviously a nice guy. I mean, I doubt if he's the devil. I doubt that very much, unless there's some kind of shocking scandal. But Doesn't seem likely. Doesn't seem likely, and that would have come out already. Trust me, if there was such a thing. We see here though there is good collaboration and teamwork here. Good collaboration and teamwork, and he also brings in a bit of money as well. But again, this is talking about the youth, so there is an element here. Even though that he's still quite a mature guy, there's an element here where he has an affinity with the youth, yeah, with young people. Young people like him. I think they see him as a kind of grandfatherly kind of energy. And also as well, let me just see if I can find it. There is something that makes me laugh. And obviously everyone is talking about JD Vance, but for me, JD, I'm going to see if I can find, I'm going to see if I can find a picture. Weird ugly cat. Let me just see if I can find it. I should have lined this up. I should have lined this up in advance, to be honest, and I didn't. Oh yeah, this is it. This is it. Now for me, JD, like, for some reason, like, let's just see here. Let's see if this is going to show. For me, this is JD Vance. Have any of you guys seen this cat on YouTube? Which is honestly, now obviously is loved by some people, but I mean, it is a rather, it's not the most attractive cat in the world. And for some reason, it just, I would show you the video clip, but this famous video clip, which went viral years ago, has a lot of swearing in it. So I will just avoid that one. But for me, when I see JD Vance, I think of that cat. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the show. I'm 6 minutes over. I hope you found that interesting. What else? And then someone's saying here, at the heart of it, says, I agree, Elon aligns himself with geniuses. Yes, he does. So it's not him that's the genius per se, but he works with people that are very gifted, very bright. Of course, he's, you know, he's not designing these rocket ships himself, is he? Someone is saying Elon is like a 13-year-old boy. Elon is on the spectrum, Asperger's. They have trouble with emotions. Yeah, that's a very good point. That's there as well. But with him, he's on the spectrum, but he does have emotions. It's just that I don't think he's particularly in control of his emotions. His emotions are controlling him. I think he's actually far more emotional than people actually realize, particularly with those cards. But anyway, I will leave it there. Thank you so much to everyone for joining me tonight. It was, what was that, 755 of you or something like that, which is really, really good. So thank you, much appreciated. I will leave it there. Of course, you will see me on Hogely with the ladies. Hopefully it will be all three of us again next week. With Lady G, she is going to have an operation again, so she's not going to be able to join me, unfortunately, in Santa Fe because it clashes. And but anyway, and someone else is saying here, I'll close with this. Judy Gula says, oh my gosh, saw that dump, says he draws larger crowds than Martin Luther King. Yeah, the insanity just keeps getting lower. Trump's delusional. I mean, it's just utter delusional. Anyway, I will leave it there. Thank you guys so much for joining me, and I will see you all on Hogely coming up. Mwah! Big love and thank you for all of the support. And please, of course, don't forget to like and subscribe. All right, bye-bye for now.